a lot more tournaments and playing a lot more matches, generally speaking. And I feel like HellRaisers have been, for me, rough around the edges when it comes to the Dust 2 I've seen out of them so far. I think, for me, the major hurdle in this game for G2 is making it to the T side with enough rounds, because G2 are going to be starting off on the CT side, and we've seen how fragile that can be, especially if you don't have a good answer for long, which they were talking about on the desk as well.
Right then, G2 defending to start with. Jump throw for the Xbox smoke. You can see Kenya's having a look. This Xbox smoke often helps the CTs actually. If you have somebody up the short position, for example, it will give them cover from the lower area. Body on short, gets tagged. Got to move back. Issa, in the meantime, has made his way into the long area, so now HellRaisers will concentrate on 3 people taking short, and I suppose the split will be on.
Yeah, I love those flashes from G2. Shame that they didn't really come to fruition, though. And G2 have the players in the right positions, playing it safe, though Body is on 5 HP. Kenny needs to deliver. That's a good start. One for him, traded out straight away. Now down to Shox. We've seen what he can do with a pistol in his hands, and he has quite the task ahead of him. However, the trades have been fairly good here, and it looks like we'll be going into somewhat of an even situation. A 2v3 after plant here for HellRaisers as G2 go for this retake, and Smiths might be key in unlocking the short position.
Wogsig planting 4 short. Deadform's holding on to that. In the meantime, we've got 2 players moving up. Smith being the only man on short. He's just waiting, and now Shox and Existence find themselves on the site. Existence with a kit, and Shox can go wide to be the initial engager. Holding on to the defuse for the time being, and Wogsig being entertained by Shox. Can't quite hit the mark, and it will be Existent who wins the first round for his team, with support from Shox, of course. G2 on Dust 2. Looking forward to seeing this.
So one thing I have to mention, I think this is what happened. I think we saw 2 flash timings in middle from G2. I think we saw one coming through short, and I think we saw one coming from the double doors at a staggered timing, which was actually really cool. And I think Body was very unlucky not to get frags, because there's like 4 T players moving in the mid position. So that's a really cool level of detail that we're looking for from G2. So that excites me.
2-man push for G2, Shox and Body taking control of that short position. So again, generally speaking, what you can look out for on the CT side is if a CT team lose a long area, they'll want to hold on to short to stop the split happening. Some shadow advantage here for Body, so the players close to the corner, running out of bullets, so only 25 in that FAMAS. And the grenades will do a lot of damage. The smoke grenade will delay things even more. Kenny just deploying all the grenades, many gifts for these HellRaisers players.
That was a big nade. That was some chunky damage, a frag along with it. A good stoppage by Body with the FAMAS. Or was it Shox? One of the two. One of the two. And now you can see HellRaisers are somewhat stuck, because G2, they adjust their positioning according to the information that they got, and you can see that Smiths is close on the underdog position, which allows him to obviously constrict the movement of HellRaisers. There's only one blind spot, which is T-spawn, and that's not something that HellRaisers necessarily know about, and they're going for this play in through long, which makes sense with the AK. Existence is waiting.
Nice cleanup from Resistance. Did not have much difficulty in that situation. 3 players surviving for G2 will be good enough. And that's 2 rounds where we have not seen... Oh, sorry, we saw a bomb plant in the first round from HellRaisers. So some would have echoed for the AKs in this round. They chose to do something different. So in that sense, now that round has been won by G2, they'll have another round with which to build some money with. For those of you on GoTV, I would pick Shox on Dust 2. There's I don't know what the channel is, somebody can tweet me and I'll retweet it. There's a channel where Shox is talking about Dust 2 and other maps. It's in French with subtitles, and he's describing lots of different things, ideas for people to learn from, which are really cool. But we'll see what HellRaisers can do here, because they've got 2 frags now. I know the SMGs to collect, but Kenny will be important in trying to hold things down. But he's only got the USP in this round. He knows that there's going to be no Kevlar. I'll explain that a bit more later, because he could be in trouble now because he's facing a MP9. The HE as well is going to get worse, but it won't. So when you're a sniper rifle player, in a round where you know your opponent is on eco and they're not going to have armor early on, often you will see a sniper rifle player just going USP because he's got the range for the one-shots, and it saves him from buying an SMG or something, which might stop him from buying an AWP in this round.
Yeah, the orbs are so important on Dusty, of course. And I really have to say, like, the more, every round I'm seeing the French play, I'm remembering or reminded how much I miss them. Because it's been ages since we really saw them in Top Flight CS. And this is a fast dart towards the double doors here, perhaps trying to capitalize on a specific timing. But Existence has a very good position to deal with this. That fast short play from G2 is the perfect counter to what HellRaisers opened this round with, which was this fast mid pressure. Now they're sandwiched, and you can see G2, they're one step ahead of the game. They're repositioning already, allowing some space in middle for these Ts.
Very quickly, I don't know if Existence had grenades at the beginning of that round, but kind of like if you see Chris J make an underpass play on Mirage, he often won't buy grenades in case he gets taken out, because otherwise it would be essentially a waste of money. So it wouldn't surprise me if the same approach was done there by Existence. And it's good that he's the one making that play as well, because obviously if he goes down trying to get something there, then it's easier for him to manage the rest of his team.
The amazing thing here is that G2, they immediately called, they understood that HellRaisers would think, oh my god, the CTs are on short, we can't deal with it, we can't play mid rounds because the CT's on short. So G2 went into a 2-3 setup, which would be better to deal with in a retake of A. But actually, HellRaisers are still playing that slow B play, so it actually could work out well for HellRaisers here.
Shox with an off angle, baiting with his teammate with the angle he's holding, and again, you see him just shoulder peeking there. That leaves Issa alone. G2 looking good for the time being. Existence not afraid to charge straight through the smoke and take Issa down, as Issa has to worry about the B bomb site as well. So lots of good things going on from G2. We're seeing some good coordination from them there.
Yeah, honestly, there are some small things to me which I'm just really impressed by. Just the fact that, so we see in the replay here, this kill happens, and it's a mid play, and a lot of teams would back out of that and they would abort. HellRaisers decided to wait and then just re-execute on the B play. But G2 had already ahead of time reacted to what they thought was most likely as an entire team. That was very cool and not often something that you see. So I agree with you. It's looking very promising so far for G2, and you need that strong CT start to have a chance on Dust 2.
I don't know if we are able to look at... Oh, never mind. I was going to say, I'll bring it up in the later round. It's early in T-Spawn, a change in Dust 2, but it's relevant to Shox playing, but we'll explain more of it later. 4-0 for G2 at present, and we don't have all the kills in the world for HellRaisers. So the G2 money is in a great position to rise and weather future storms. Always an interesting approach, how the CTs react to certain players getting taken out. Oh, Kenny gets his bell rung, but of course, a sniper can repeat here time and time again. And he can also pop flash behind Shox's position. Bondic now, 48 HP. So those videos I was talking about, one of the things Shox explains is the importance of a sniper playing on the A site and how he provides flashes for somebody who's on A or in the pit, for example. As somebody who's like rotating around where the car is on long. So there's lots of great theory to learn in those videos that Shox has out on the internet. Anyway, we have HellRaisers now at maximum loss bonus. They will have all the bits and bobs, Woxic on the AWP, 4 AKs on the remainder of the team.
And a new dynamic, seeing more equipment here, and there's the fast long take. And as described on the desk, there can be very difficult ways to set up the round, so it's impossible for the CTs. But look at this, the forward smoke on middle, just really pulling out all the stops here. Very creative stuff here from G2. Existence gets the pick as well, but now he's in a very forward position. He's been discovered. They know that long is occupied by the Ts. They can assume that pretty much every single player is there. G2 have all the information, but can they find a way to use that information to close the round?
G2 basically have short thanks to Existence's push, and Smiths is just hiding outside of long. There's always a chance the HellRaisers could rotate out, so he will be a late lurker. In the meantime, HellRaisers moving forward, not quite working out though. The bomb's in an exposed position, and you can see that smoke grenade is very lacking indeed. So many issues for HellRaisers at the moment. They've only got one frag in this round so far, and not only have not won the round, but they have not done enough damage either. G2, I mean, how do you, in a best of one, how do you react to these plays? Why is Existence in T-Spawn?
So again, this is one of those amazing things when you have a team that's been able to prepare and spend all their time focusing on this tournament, because we are seeing just an incredible level of Just awesome calls, awesome strats, awesome tactics. They're put together really well, clearly drilled to perfection, and there is method behind them as well. It's not just some random fancy stuff. And I don't think HellRaisers I think HellRaisers are playing a different pace to G2 right now. I think G2 are on another level from that perspective. So HellRaisers need to figure out, okay, how can we take initiative away from G2? Because it feels like every round G2 takes the initiative, and I love that.
Ooh, a change from G2, an opportunist change. Woxic had an AWP in the previous buy round. Now Smiths has an AWP. Are we going to see the old familiar from Smiths? Let's not forget. I think it was before I don't remember, I think it was before the nerf to the AWP movement, where Smiths was such a savage in those double doors. Now he'll have an off angle, looking towards the tunnels, but moving around. It's a shame you can't jump on double stack anymore, but anyway, we've got a charge into the B bomb site. Existence gets one frag. Smith has a look. Can't go too far in just yet. Pop flash to try and watch the cross. Almost, but not quite. In the meantime, teammates continue to rotate. Shock's looking for a flank, and Kenny's going to join him. Body, I suppose, will go towards the double doors, the B doors, rather. Or perhaps not. He's just looking for a flank at the moment, so Smith's outside the window, keeping her T's honest.
Yeah, not many nades here for the T's to defend with. It's going to have to come down to those headshots. Angel with a very nice position. Very difficult to deal with, but of course Shox is going to do the damage. Lovely stuff there for him as he pushes forwards, creates some space for his teammates. Smith's trying to get a look in with that AWP. Does get a tag onto Dead Fox, but perhaps he needed the frag, but Shox will finish it off now as they push forwards. Great defense from Bondik and Woxic. Kenny is now trying as he may. He can't do it. Goes down to the last man though. It's a pretty good attempt, all things considered. And HellRaisers get it done with that straight up B push.
4K from Woxic, and you want to see him performing really nice stuff. That's a great second frag from him, elevating his position as well, so the information is old from G2 and the last player tries to trade the frag eventually. An expensive round for G2, but they almost had too much money at that point, so the buy won't be a big issue. A tactical timeout from G2 to discuss and perhaps break the momentum from HellRaisers of that all of one round at the moment. So this is Dust 2 is a map which had a lot of changes. Basically, I feel like the devs tried to change everything that used to be done before. So you've got to find new things now. So just to the right of T-spawn towards long doors, you see an awning where, funny enough, Shox used to throw a smoke. So if you had a sniper rifle player as a CT holding short from where the car is, he would throw his smoke there. But if you tried to do that now, it would just hit the roof of the awning. So it's funny that he's playing on the map which he had such a significant impact on, as well as other people, of course.
HellRaisers maybe looking to go for a very similar player to the last round with a slightly delayed timing. Smith's going to body block this. Oh, it could have been so much, but it was so little in the end, and it may just be the same scenario over again. Even worse this time, not a single frag, 5 players. Existence tries to dart in there, and it's got to be a save now, surely. B just went too quickly. And that's such a shame. You feel like he had the play to get at least 2 kills there on the body block, but it just didn't pan out for G2, and that is exactly what HellRaisers needed.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Smiths on the body block, especially with a player going to his right-hand side, but 3 players survive, so it's better that he does that, dies, and 3 survive than it happens later on or something and it's more catastrophic. So yes, it's a second round for HellRaisers. It was an opportunity for G2 to reset them, but it seems 5 players will survive for HellRaisers, which is crucial for them.
And also at the same time, there's not a huge amount of hope for HellRaisers in the sense that right now the only success they've had is playing into B, and that can be a very dangerous dance to rely on. So you can't just go B every round, is what I'm trying to say, with a B rush. The question as well for G2 though is not to over-adjust as well. I think what G2 have been doing overall is very good, and I think that sometimes the timings can be unfortunate when you defend that B side, so hopefully they don't overreact to that.
Players moving through towards B bomb site. Bondik making a play. He'll have long. So now what is the reaction? The CTs actually are not in position to do anything about the short area, so this is awkward for them. And you see Kenny has to take risks, just jumping into position. I think they've realised that there was such a big investment towards long that they can take short with safety. 3 players now towards long for HellRaisers, and Woxic is still looking in for a rotation down mid, holding the bomb, which Angel maybe will collect. I'm just keeping an eye on things for now, seeing if there's a reaction from G2. So the brazen plays of G2 from previous rounds may kill more time for HellRaisers, where you've seen Smiths making his way through B tunnels, where you've seen Existence top mid. Now it seems that HellRaisers fear this.
Oh, this round's Angel caught Smiths. Smiths went for an immediate rotation. I think they feared that A rush, and he got caught straight away. And that's going to make things more difficult here for G2 for sure. They're just waiting now. Incoming are the T players. HellRaisers pushing that A-bomb site. Oh, Shox with an elevated position there on the side around the smoke. Can he find some dodgy angles here to play off of? Yes, he can. Kenius also whittling down the numbers. More and more T players here for HellRaisers falling. And Shox is just still standing tall on this smoke. Kenius will finally die, but that's the bomb down on the ground. Woxic has to clutch against 3. This has worked out very well for G2.
How does he get the 1 versus 1s? He's trying to thin the numbers now. He's unscoped. He's got to go fast, but Existence will have an advantage because he's further away from the smoke. And there is the reset that G2 are looking for. But there's still money to buy for HellRaisers because they got that extra round, if you will.
Yeah, this smoke from Shox, this was awesome. I don't think I've seen somebody play this. This one, presumably it's a one-way.
Yeah, gimmicks in a best of 1 can win you a match. Now, if that happened in a round prior, that would have been really, really bad for HellRaisers, but at least they have a chance to get back into it with another full buy. They've got less utility, but they've got a dangerous guns. Woxic on the AWP. Oh, that's a great shot from Existence.
That kind of busts HellRaisers a bit in their early timings as well, because you can see they were firing down mid with the AWP and providing covering fire, which created a very fast rush timing on short, but Existence just pops the first player, so then you don't have the surprise element anymore. Ooh, that's a big frag though. That's a good way to try to make good of it, and that creates a lot of pressure. And you can see how G2 are split 2 and 2 on either bomb side, and they're trying to go aggressive here to try to take initiative back, and it's not going to work.
Existence now may do the same play. Yeah, he's going straight into B tunnel. It's very unlikely, unless you're going towards B, to expect a second player to do the same. But G2 are losing numbers all over the place, and well, they do have another buy in the bank, but there's only 2 players left. They may have to save. There's one more picked off. Okay, that's changing very quickly indeed. All of a sudden, it's a 1 versus 1.
Very dynamic stuff going on. It's pretty fun to watch how GT here are not afraid to just go for the pushes again and again. Now Woxic, he is in such a strong position, and the quality of player Woxic is, it's hard to see him not able to close this round out. The bomb planted favorably with the AWP in hand all the way along against the AK-47. Existence needs a hell of a shot to make this one a reality, and he's not going to be able to even pull the trigger. Lovely finish from Woxic.
Woxic has taken delivery of a new mouse. So the mouse loaned by FACEIT will be going back to FACEIT Towers. We're good for him. Always great to see Woxic delivering. HellRaisers on the comeback now. Again, only Smiths is short. He's got $2,000. Everybody else has cash to buy. And so perhaps he has dropped a FAMAS. They are a French team after all, for the most part.
And it's quite interesting too, if you can see the rounds won there. Only 2 rounds where the round was won or lost via defuse or detonation. So there's HellRaisers, there were a lot of rounds are ending before they can get a bomb down, which is, I think, interesting. And the times in which HellRaisers have found most success is the B rushes. All the other rounds have been close, or they just get shut down before they can get to the A site, which is pretty interesting. G2 having so much success there, and into a new round. HellRaisers really need to turn this one on its head. Only 3 rounds at the moment. They'll go with a long take to start things off, and G2 have completely voided long at the beginning of the round.
Yes, they have. So Smith indeed will be on the FAMAS. Shox is waiting for a flash on a short position, but the whole HellRaisers team are in long, and I would imagine they'll be here for a while, as we're often seeing when a T side takes long with most of the numbers. HellRaisers with no map control elsewhere. In previous rounds, they did look for rotations and so on early on. Maybe expecting less of that, but will they just concentrate on the long position? And if so, how will their approach towards short B? How will they take these duels once they start to go up the elevator? The first smoke is down. They're waiting for the counter grenades and plays from G2. Maybe for an opening. Is Body going to give it to them? They know Woxic is out there somewhere with an AWP. Up on the new and improved platform at the end of long.
Shox is out of position to play that smoke trick again. Body's the one on the site with Kenny instead. Shox is on short. It's very difficult to stop this. They're cut off. There's a buffer of smokes between the T's and the CTs. Looks like Body wants to break that. Existence will charge through as well. Oh my goodness! Angel has no idea. There's no cover from the back lines. Existence and Kenny is just laying into them. How on earth did that timing happen?
Yo, Existence is fragging today. 11 kills for him so far. It's great to see. Yeah. I don't think I'm mistaken in saying that he was a sniper in Source.
Yes, he was.
Which
yeah.
I really would love to see him pick up an AWP. Not on occasion, because that doesn't really count, but you know, just out of interest. But here we are. He is fragging today. That was really interesting. I have to say, it's unlucky for HellRaisers because of the smokes on the site. There was a great Molotov to land on the boxes to stop somebody from standing right behind them. And you could see it landed perfectly, but it was too close to the smoke. But that's definitely one to pick up from the demo. HellRaisers back on pistols now. 5 Desert Eagles. They've got the Butcher by. They're looking for the meat shots. We'll see if they can get any. In the meantime, there is absolutely damage to be done to the G2 esports economy. Almost a G Sports.
It's so far been really fun to watch G2 just because of the level of thought in their Dust 2. It is much beyond, I think, any other team I've seen playing Dust 2 recently, and I think it's just because we've been seeing a lot of teams that have been very active in the tournament circuits and they haven't had the time to prepare as much on this map. And
I think it's a warning, though, to other teams in this stage of what they may expect from G2 and other maps as well. Just the sheer aggression that we've been seeing. Shox running out of bullets, and now that the numbers game is here, the Deagles continue, and this becomes a winnable round for HellRaisers. They may have post-plant positions.
Yes, this is a big problem. Body is far away, and those Deagles are very dangerous. Dead Fox has picked up an AWP, and Dead Fox is just incredible. He's just one of these standout players the last couple of weeks to me, which has impressed time and again. And he's got that AWP in playing at post-plant on the A side. I don't know if G2 can retake this round. It's going to be very difficult indeed. It will take down Angel, but it does fall down to if Bonnet can just get at least one frag, just lighten the load for Dead Fox, and he can't do it. So now Dead Fox in on the clutch. 1 versus 3 players on both sides. There's one good connection. 2 more to go, and Body is fast with the headshot. Body waited for a very long time to get to his teammates, and there's just enough time here for Existence to cut the wires, and that will be another round for G2. But it was expensive, and they don't have the most money in the world. But this is a very strong CT side, James. We haven't seen too many dominant CT sides in the limited Dust 2s we've seen so far.
9-3. Tactical timeout from HellRaisers. 3 rounds from this half so far, running out of opportunities. As you can see, there will be a force by a Bombik on a Galil and a few bits and bobs. What will Dead Fox have to offer us? Some hand slaps from the team. So proud, so happy to get to this stage of the major. The future is theirs to write. So let's see how this continues. Shox on an AK-47. You do love to see that.
Yeah, it is so cool too, because it's just when you see the French players like just how they fight and shoots, it's a different breed. I have to say, especially kind of the tapping that we see from Shox. You just don't see it as much these days, so it's very fun to watch. And HellRaisers perhaps going for that B split, just straight B split. But the positioning of G2, they are very susceptible to losing around to a B split. Unless Shox can do something from CT spawn as he's moving there, this could be the difference. Oh, can he find something with the spray? While the Tracers will give up his position, and Existence is caught out of position as well. This is not a good look for G2.
Unfortunately, poorly timed for them. Smith's trying to do what he can, but that will be the round for HellRaisers, and that is so needed for the squad. 3 rounds just isn't enough in any half of Counter-Strike at this point. But they look good for round number 4, and the money's going to be in the bin for G2, but perhaps with Kenny on AWP, something can be done. Trying to save. As he jumps away, Angel will have those sound cues, but the AK won't be enough. Body will take him out, so perhaps this AWP can be saved after all.
It really snowballed, didn't it? After Shox went down for the full spray, and you feel like someone like Shox could realize that was very punishable. He must have been so sure that he could get a kill or two, and wanted to at the same time create the distraction that his teammate could come out of the double doors of B and shoot them in the back. That must have been the thinking for Shox, but as we can see, sometimes a good idea can make you look a bit stupid if it doesn't go your way. And well, HellRaisers, they get to 4 rounds, making this match more competitive.
Nice play. The Tracers are scary these days. Every 3rd bullet, starting with the 1st, will send a Tracer from most guns. Something to be aware of. Angel quickly towards the top mid position, smokes on the Xbox area, and there's a short play once again. Who's going to hear who first? Angel is underneath the box. I don't think he's aware of the short play. In the meantime, Smith will be taking out another early frag towards B. Angel's got 1 frag in him, but there are no CTs now in the B bomb site. Shox and Kenny is rotating through mid, and they've kept it competitive.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. There's 2 rounds left. I don't know. This is a marginal situation for G2. I'm not sure how their money is, if it's going to support. Yeah, I think saving really is maybe the sure thing for G2. Of course, just if someone pushes, they can get a kill and then maybe try to go for it. But surely they don't just try to shovel in here. They need this AWP into the next rounds, and they can't afford it otherwise.
They're trying a late one, waiting for an exit, perhaps. Oh, how's he still getting fragged back, Kenny?
Wow.
Well, they will lose everything after all. I do wonder if they were banking on most of the players going towards B tunnels, being afraid of Kenny, but it seems that HellRaisers no scare, baby.
That's actually really smart because they almost killed everyone, and exiting that way. And as you say, if they did go tunnels and they go a bit too soon, well, they can realize that with the sound cues, and also if it's not happening, they can always just escape to safety.
I suppose it was a calculated risk, especially considering they had 9 rounds on the board, and Smith's, he's not had a good few rounds of late, and that is not quite the cherry on the ice cream. The MP9 so may get work done here for G2. We've got 3 players remaining for HellRaisers. They still have control of the bomb. Existence and Shox running rampant around the mid area, and they see that there's no pressing concern there, but they're not really aware of what's going on towards long. Kenny S is on A having a look down there, but he does not have the sniper rifle, and Woxic is still lurking with one. Yeah,
the surprise attack. Not much of a surprise with the smoke in mid, but it's worked out wonderfully for the French. And Shox gets caught there. That's going to keep Existence go in. Oh, the timing is fantastic. Finds an instant headshot. AK collected. That's pressure on the flank. And you can see how HellRaisers are putting their attention to it now. They don't want to get caught off guard, but can they finish Existence off? He was backing off in an intelligent manner, but it won't be enough. Bondik will catch him. Body now looking as well for a head, and he'll find it as well as the bomb, leaving Woxic alone. 40 seconds, trying to cover the bomb with smoke. That will buy him a lot of time. There's no way the body can really stop him picking up the bomb, or can he even get to it? Does he? Yep, he crap it there. Imagine if it fell off the ledge. Foxy's in such a hard spot here. Does he get out? He's trapped, and Body will not allow him to leave. And that's a 10-5 scoreline for G2 on the CT side. That is a great way to start off your Dust 2.
Yeah, and speaking of starting off Dust 2, it was a great start for G2 with the aggressive plays that really put HellRaisers on their back foot. Gave them a fantastic start, 5-0 start, but also put the fear into HellRaisers as well, where they're looking at, from T-spawn for people pushing B and so on. So that most certainly helps going forward. But what do they have to offer us on the T side now? The brain of existence is at play, so you know it might be something special, especially with how that CT side looked. And I think a lot of us have just been waiting for existence to come back to top flight Counter-Strike. It felt almost inevitable, or at least you hoped it was. And here he is, and he's fragging as well, which is great to see.
Yep, and also for me, seeing Shox not as an IGL. I think for me, the last couple of years, it's always been an asterisk next to Shox, because I'm thinking, I know he can just do so much more. Just let him be free, like Forest, for example, from NIP. And as we start off the pistol here, we'll see the Xbox smoke and some trades as they make their way, G2, to that A bomb site. And awaiting them is Bondic with the USP. And he's been spotted and flashed. Can they gain some ground here? Maybe not. The pop's coming in. Angel holds his ground.
The bomb so close to falling over the edge as well. Shox trying to see what he can do. Doesn't have all the range in the world of a Glock, and you can see he wants to pick up the AWP, the USP. But it won't last very long. That is the 4th kill for Angel, and Issa will finish off the job. So that is exactly the start that HellRaisers wanted. Now we have the opportunity for a close game of Dust 2. If you're carrying the bomb on short, you have to make sure that you're not close to the rim, because as you can see, the bomb flies up and forward. So if you're too close to the edge and you get frags, then you may lose the entire round for your team if the bomb goes into CT spawn. Great one taps from Angel, by the way.
But do we see the short play, the common short play? They actually left money in the. They left some money. They didn't. This is not a full force buy from G2. They did not spend everything. That is very interesting. That is very rare to see that. I wonder what they have in plan. Obviously, this round they're getting decimated. And it looks like they're just trying to find picks here. They've got Deagles. There is a smoke and a flash in existence, so you have to wonder exactly what the purpose of that was. Maybe there is still a purpose that can be found for it. Smith's the only player, I believe, spending everything.
That reminds me, actually, I don't know how many years ago it was, Dan, when we saw an eco round from Existence. That's a nice walk, sick. We saw an eco round from an Existence team on Mirage, where there was some utility used towards B. It's so far away that I can't even remember, but I always talked about it for ages, and I only saw it once. So maybe we'll see it again. Some of the older viewers will remember that, how ridiculous that was. Ooh. Question of damage now for Existence, but he will be the recipient after that 1 kill. So a pretty good round from HellRaisers as far as they are concerned. Now let's see if G2 have anything funky to offer in this round. Kenny's got 34-50 in the bank, so you know the AWP is coming in the next round. Is that all he needs to see to go for a headshot? He literally adjusted to shoot the guy in the face, and he saw like an elbow and a knee.
I'm just trying to like work out why they specifically left themselves with this amount of money, because they could have spent a bit more last round still had the full buy next round, I think. So I'm just curious how it's, you know, what the plan is. It's just like you usually just see everyone spend everything except the AWPer. That tends to be what you do in that previous round.
Well, I suppose they felt like they spent enough.
Well, yes, that's the thing. Like, you always wonder with, you know, everything. You have to analyze every single decision, don't you? Especially when it's a team like G2, because that's just how Existence is. So that's an exciting prospect. Whenever I see something different and it's from G2, I'm excited because I'm thinking, okay, what's the thinking behind this?
Yeah. These people are brain engaged.
Yeah.
HellRaisers don't have a lot of info as to where the G2 players might be just yet, but you don't need to give Woxic too many opportunities, because he is tagging these people like he's on Facebook. Issa's there for the rifle support as well. Always nice to see rifle support from... What? Okay. Okay, they are heavily tagged, these T players, but there is damage to be done. They've done almost pretty much $10,000 of damage so far. Bondic with a nice off angle around the boxes, and that Molotov will hurt. continuing to rotate, and now they've got a 2 versus 1 with Dead Fox. They can try and use these numbers. Dead Fox has to be really careful. You can see him conserving the bullets, gets his bell rung, but he will just about finish it off. Nice upgrade for him, which reduces the damage done by G2. And here we are, 10-8 as Kenny S and Woxic both by AWPs. This gonna be good.
Yeah, and I think it seems like G2 have perfect money pretty much for max grenades. And, well, they're missing some Molotovs here or there, which Shox could buy more. Shox could afford more nades unless the money is being read wrong to me on the scoreboard here, but
He's just been legged.
That's a good start. And G2, what's the plan here? They are pretty default at the beginning of this round, just taking dark control, longhouse, slowly building into middle with a delay. It's very standard stuff. So this could be them just setting the precedent now. This is what our defaults are going to be looking like. And there's lots of ways to branch out of this. B split, A split. You can set up all kinds of different plays from this. They're also waiting to see if there's any pushes from HellRaisers. You know, we have Body putting a watchful eye on dark pushes. G2 at the same time pressuring towards the A side. And they can see the trajectory of grenades, and they can understand positioning of the CTs. And there's a big challenge in long. Actually, they traded out. This is a good look here for G2.
Woxic flashed twice from long. Does he continue to pursue? There is, well, he doesn't know what exactly is going on there. He's not going to peek the corner, but Angel's moving forward towards long. Is this a distraction? We've got Body throwing grenades into B from the tunnel in the meantime. He's throwing the lurk smoke. Now you can't even jump up to double stack from behind that smoke, so you've got to be really careful. Obviously you can burst through it as well. You can get pop flashes into the middle of that smoke, so that's scary, but it's not pulling people towards B.
Yes. Oh, Body, he missed the jump up, and so he started shooting when he was in the air. That could have been a frag. G2 have been suggesting they were going A the whole time, always thinking to go B, and now they've been spotted out. Issa with a beautiful position, catching them through CT, and now it's just going to be on Body trying to make the frags here. The bomb is lost in middle, and Shox is 1 HP, and there's surely nothing he can do from this point forwards. 5 seconds as well, so there's no time. But that was such a good round. Otherwise, from G2, they really pulled rotation to A, and they were working really hard on that, and then they wanted to do a fast B hit, and Body misses the first shots, then they get shut down in middle because the alarm bells are ringing. Great stuff from Issa.
I wondered if Kenny thought it was random shot through the smoke. I don't think either of them actually saw Issa in his position, and I do wonder if he's feeling the pressure. Obviously it's his first major essentially, and we saw how much it meant to him to get to this stage, and now he's playing against some really big names, but he seems to be delivering for the moment. He is actually just behind Shox. Shox 21 frags, leading the server. Issa in second place with 17. And now after a short timeout we will continue. So we've got the hero AK-47 onto Shox. I don't think anybody will argue with that. Body's pretty nasty with an AK-47 as well though. I think as a new name he still doesn't get the credit he deserves. Woxic with a nice tag. Again, you don't need to give him 2 chances. He'll hit you somewhere.
This should be very easy for Issa. 1, where's the trade? Where's the trade? There's no trade. Issa shuts it all down. Oh that's
my
just
God.
Clinical clean from Issa. You love to see it. And that is an even nicer way to finish it off. 4 kills, just super clean from Issa. HellRaisers 10-10. They tied all up.
This game is not that easy. Why are you making it look so easy? The first one was somewhat laboured, but after that, jeez, it's like he's just pouring custard. Oh man, it's too early for that. It's too early. 10-10, and both teams are on the bye once again. Kenny S, AWP, armor, and nothing else. He is in the black and white. He's keeping it simple. That's a great start from him. Bonic taken out, trying to deploy a grenade. But the CTs will retain possession of long at least.
Yeah, but that's a great advantage to play with as a tease. You have so much time in the round to try to create an awkward spot for the HellRaisers. I mean, you can see there's so much, if you look on the minimap, there's so much space between A and B. That rotation time is really, really long. So it creates a spot where the CTs have to hold position or take a really big risk, get caught out of position rotating. And that's a fantastic defensive shot. This has not worked out well for G2, trying to push this into the AWP. The repositioning of HellRaisers, very solid. And now Kenny he's got to do more here. He's got to do a lot more than just that one pick earlier.
That grenade stings. That bomb is still exposed on the short position. Finally, he thins the numbers yet more. And now the question is, do you stand your ground with this bomb? Do you defend? The rifle support continues. Angel moving forward. That's so cheeky. He sees Kenny falling off the box as well. Doesn't need to pursue. 40 seconds remain, and Shock says to do something now. And he knows there's, well, he might know that there's one more player in that short position. 35 seconds to collect that bomb, which has been a problem for a while now. And it seems that Shocks will be the rifle support for Kenny, as Angel will be for Woxic. All 4 players. This round is going to be won or lost on shorts.
Yeah, is this a Shocks and Kenny-esque kind of round? Foxy's such a strong position, and he catches Kenny, and he catches Shock as well. You can't fault the man, and that's going to be 11 now for HellRaisers. Oof. HellRaisers looking like they are warming up.
They've got some really good players on their team, man. They are zoned in as well. You can see the level of focus. Woxic's so strong. Ooh. That's a nice attempt from Kenny, but obviously Woxic's position is just too strong. And he is he's ready for it. G2 forcing it up now with the rifles, and Kenny S on the CZ. He's keeping 12-50 in the bank. This is so important, a map for an AWP. You want him playing at his best. Angel with the Mori. There's a team support flashbang as well, but now the numbers can be used by the T side because the smoke was diffused. It's a nice crouch pick from Body, and Long has to be given up by the CTs.
Yeah, a gun that could potentially be collected for Kenny as well. And I do wonder, you know, I think there was just no flash on short in that previous round, and when they, you know, first lost their players on short. So I wonder if that will be an adjustment in future rounds here for GT, but this one...
Kenny's just used the HE to grenade the bomb, the gun to himself. Because
Nice.
you can see how exposed the gear was for the CT, but he had a HE in the hole and bounced it to himself, and now he's got a rifle.
And you can see they can't go long. They just don't have any nades. There's literally no grenades on G2. So going long is way too exposed. Short could maybe work. It's still difficult. There's a lot of exposure. So the B bombs are feeling good at this point, and that's very nice from Shocks. Catches Issa pushing forwards. Risks taken by HellRaisers, and they are not going well. And this player's dying all across the map here. This is hard to keep track of, but the bomb is now going to be collected, and they will move it towards B.
And the bomb was lurking long this whole time, but there was still a question mark as to how to get to the site. Bondi gets his bell rung immediately, and there's a masterstroke play from Shocks, who was just lying in wait, using his teammates for the bait. 11-11, I'm sure will feel great.
Shocks 25 and 15. Shocks consistent in this matchup. Beautiful fragging here from him.
Ooh, just a tip. He sees, he sees. There's plenty of money on the CT side for another buy. HellRaisers taking a tactical timeout. They're second last of this game. Having a chitty chat. Woxic pulling the AWP out again. This is the first round, it must be said, this is the first round that G2 have won in this half. It has been all HellRaisers apart from that, so opportunity knocks for them. And again, it is, from this perspective of HellRaisers, it is all about, this is our chance to reset G2. They had the max loss bonus for a while, and it still took them a while to get around in. So let's reset them and win this game. That's got to be the mindset for HellRaisers. AWPs continue for both teams. There's a smoke, and the CTs will jump early just after it blooms. Often a sniper will delay a second or so after the smoke blooms to take a shot through. We have seen tags in prior rounds. Smith's going really far forward. If there's a risk of a sniper player towards, or even not, towards A, you can stand on that box to elevate your position on short, so you get legged, hopefully, rather than shot in the chest.
So we'll get a mid-B burst here for G2. Angel, they throw a flash for him, and whoa, nades in hand, and Angel gets a lovely lineup, and that spray down. It's Smith to try to save it, but it's now down to Body in a 1v4, and the bomb is lost. Pretty much everything is lost right now for Body.
This is a huge round for HellRaisers. Obviously, G2 at this point are unlikely to plant the bomb as well, and that would be much needed money. Body spots one, but what's he seen on the radar as well? Angel, oh,
The bait.
that was... Oh, that's got to be frustrating. Again, every frag counts in that situation. Now what did G2 do? That is a huge, huge round for HellRaisers as we start to get to the late stage. Angel surely wasn't expecting to get 3 out of this, but you still see the spray adjustment for the third player as well, and he's been fragging for his side this tournament so far.
Yeah, and it worked out so perfectly before the smoke could come in. Angel's teammate flashes in for him, then on a re-peek he catches another G2 player with a nade in his hand. It just worked out so perfectly there for HellRaisers. Very well finished off by Angel. Now things definitely are starting to get really difficult here for G2. You know, their money is in a place where they have to save or half buy, and that'll bring HellRaisers to 13. And HellRaisers have a lot of momentum at the moment, and unlike HellRaisers, G2 don't seem to have that round where, you know, we rush B and we just pick up a round, and you know, we can sort of restart ourselves a bit. It feels like G2 have tried a lot of stuff. I feel like a lot of stuff they've tried has been good. Like, I like their defaults, for example, and I feel like they've got unlucky a couple of times. So I have to see what they think is the best way forwards, but they won't have many chances after this round.
Double sniperoo. Desert Eagles are out. Seen them do damage already. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Body coming in hot like Bane. Shox, in the meantime, has cleared out the long position. He hasn't quite peeked towards the site just yet. He doesn't know if Car is safe, but this is something to bear in mind as we watch the rest of G2 move around the map. Now, Rocket's playing the alternative angle. He gets baited, but Issa is there. Again, HellRaisers have been great with the rifle support round after round for the sniper rifle player. The Molotov perfectly timed, and a lot of danger has been taken away, but Shox finally gets a pick off. He's moved up towards the A site, but a bomb needs to cross. They've heard the Deagles being fired. How does Body get the bomb to a safe place? There's even a CT on short, and I think they know that the bomb is here. Look at the angles that Issa is holding. He knows Shox is on 8, so we will start moving his position, but they know that Shox and the bomb are in 2 separate places. Body's got to be careful. They're essentially double peeking there, and now Shox has to move forward. Hasn't picked up a gun just yet. 1 versus 3. You never quite know.
No Kevlar as well. Life is difficult, and they're surely watching. Issa's surely watching the smoke here. Every edge of it, indeed. Issa's been fantastic for HellRaisers so far. He is actually top fragging for them, and he is closing in on Shox. He's at 25, Shox on 26 kills at the moment. But it's 13 rounds for HellRaisers now and 11 for G2. If G2 are not to pick up this round, life starts to get very, very difficult for them. And, well, best not think about it if you're on their side. Let's see if they can scrap something together here. Kenny's on the AWP again, looking for the cross shot, and he won't get a connection.
Looks like he was going to get 2.
That would be something, but it was nothing.
Bondic and Angel have securely taken long on this occasion. Shox will be outside long for the time being while his teammates move around the map. Kenny has the bomb in tow, holding angles in case somebody peeks from B slope. But HellRaisers are not that way inclined for the moment. Angel in CT spawn, as one can see. And Woxic will be on long. Bondic left in the pit. So Woxic has 1 flashbang. Now with Bondic in the pit, if he gets action later on, he can just call for that flash. And maybe Angel will do the same. Something to keep an eye on. Now we see that G2 have 3 players in that short position, and they seem to be moving quickly.
Existence with some harassment here. So that Molotov's really important as well, just to figure out what the setup could look like for HellRaisers. Because if you get information as to how the CTs are set up, it tells you as a tease what is the most effective round to play, A split or B split, typically. In this kind of a setup, where now HellRaisers have Angel and CT spawn, the B split gets weaker, as Angel can provide support and crossfires, even through smoke, and he gets the spot as well. HellRaisers in trouble now. The it gets picked off. My God, Kenny won't stop, and this push is coming in hot and fast.
Caught completely out of position. Issa doing huge work though. Does he see the player coming from the window? He's got a great angle. Oh my God, that's a nasty tap from him. But now he's compromised. Surely he's compromised. Going for the one taps on Shox as well, but he's left at a 1 versus 2. It could have been much worse than that. Bondic alone. Do they know where he's coming from? There's a gap in that smoke. But no one's going to give it up. How does he get the 1 versus 1? Kenny looking towards the tunnel position. He's exposed. Shox will have to do the door and the balcony at the same time. But he sees him. I think he's heard Kenny, but he won't be able to do anything else. There is the round for G2. They keep it close and expensive for the CT side, who have 3 players who can fall by in this round.
Yeah, that play from Issa was so cool. You can see Kenny doing a lot. Wow, what on earth was that second kill? Kenny with a hell of a round. I mean, I guess you needed to have someone go off like that against what Issa was bringing to the table. Again, Issa just really performing here. Another player on HellRaisers that just makes you think, wow, HellRaisers they're going places.
I've got to say, when you see him playing like that in such a high-pressure situation, when he has no cover, no help, no flashbang support, he has players coming from tunnel and from the window at the same time. He's got multiple in the window, and he still goes for taps like that. That is a player where you have to wonder where his ceiling is, because it's nowhere near where he's playing now. That player has a lot more to offer us. That looked absolutely nasty, and I can't wait to see more from him.
Yeah, HellRaisers are definitely perhaps the most exciting sort of new look team in from out of the CIS region. I've got to say, really exciting indeed. But can they close the game? They're 1 round ahead. The money for both teams is very poor, and it comes down to the Orbs, and it's a trade.
Wow.
Woxic though, he's going to net them a kill, and a 3 versus 4 now for G2. They've got lots of time and positioning too. Shox actually in a spot to maybe save the round here. He's really deep on middle. He's looking for someone to rotate. There's no one rotating just yet. HellRaisers is still holding around that long position with 2 players, expecting maybe a re-execution, but it's not going to come.
Body doesn't really have support at the moment. He's carrying the bomb. He can't necessarily drop the bomb because that would concede his position. So what does he do? What is the play forward? Shox has waited for info and he just hasn't got it. So he's trying to do something, and it seems he's trying to offer effects towards the B-bomb side. They're catching the CTs out of position once more. They're exchanging gifts like it's an office Christmas party, and now the bomb has been spotted. Shox on the rotation as well. Look at Woxic's position. This is so crucial for his side, but he has to retreat. Dead Fox moving towards the short area.
Oh, Shox playing that so smart, pulling rotation away. His teammates understanding when to push for it, and now they're just finishing it off. Shox, another kill for him. Or actually, no, that's his first kill. He feels like he's done so much more in this round, but up to Woxic now to save it as he pushes in from short. He was another player that suffered being caught out of position. He's going to actually swap out for the AK-47. Multiple players to deal with. The tap's surely going to be coming out now as he pushes forwards. Can he find something? There's some damage onto Body, but Shox still don't know where Shox is. Body is up to him, and he'll do the job. My goodness, what a smart play. Shox really threatening that. They were so convinced it was going to be B. Caught on the rotation. Beautiful from G2.
Look at that adjustment from Woxic as well, the jumping player. Man, even at the end, watching his aim here, sorry, that's Body, but when Woxic comes up the short position, like, just watching his aim is almost like a 1.6 aimbot, but it's really awesome to watch. I wish my aim was that good, and then some. $2,000. Wow, this G2 have broken the CT money at the most crucial point of the game. They've put themselves in a very winning position now.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? You can cut it at a finer timing. Let's see though if there's any shenanigans to be had here for HellRaisers with the USPs. You never know. Smith is actually the most forward player and also the player with the bomb too at the moment, but it's fine. It's in the lower dark position, so it's not too exposed. What are we going to see here from G2? Just getting some information. Shox is walking along, so he's the most forward player now for his team in enemy territory, and he's getting a lot of information here. A lot of information. And he could even just close the round down, because obviously if he spots a couple players and he frags them, then, well, it's a 5v3 and his teammates, oh, hello. Giving Issa a taste of his own medicine. And that's the A-bomb site that he's got now. His teammates can rally to this position and they can plant the bomb, and it's basically over for HellRaisers in this round as expected. Now it's just about watching Shox shooting people in the face. This has been a very cool game of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think one of the most entertaining Dust 2s I've seen at the major so far, for me personally.
I think either team would be a deserving winner.
Yeah.
Both teams are playing well. It's easy to focus too much on G2 because obviously we have the old favourites back and it's a journey of discovery with them, but HellRaisers are playing well as well. So HellRaisers are going to have some shortcomings. Woxic won't be on the AWP in this round, and they may not have all the grenades that they may have wanted. Now, do they go aggressive? Do they go for a fast short play or something like that to try and make up for this? Some prime real estate, if you will. It seems it will be the take of the long position, Angel and Bondic once again. Shock's just lurking for the time being, and out they go. But this is a big investment in what little utility they have. In the meantime, Smiths is getting his Shock's impression on. Has he been spotted though? I think he has, and he's been taken out. Early advantage for HellRaisers.
Yeah, G2 is still not in the B bomb site. There's a big rotation from HellRaisers, a massive rotation, and G2 they can't go into B at this point, and the bomb is cut off from Shock's as well. I don't know how G2 can get out of this position. They are choked off in every single sense, and Kenny S, oh my god, he has no idea how close he was to just getting absolutely wrecked by Angel, and Angel's going to hear them running into spawn.
This is so weird though, because surely they don't expect Shox to be in this position, and now how many frags does Shox get? I was going to say they don't know where he is, and that could be really compromising. Now they do know where he is. They realise that the long rotation is in. Oh boy, Angel, he's got to give himself enough space. This is so crucial. In the meantime, his team are continuing to advance towards A, starting to go wide again. This was the first player, and there will be a trade. Body now, 1 versus 3. Which way does he go? HellRaisers kind of have to watch the middle position. He sees one going towards that B bomb site, but Woxic can CT spawn. There isn't all the time in the world here, so he will be heard by Woxic, and now Woxic and Dead Fox can go for double pick that trade situation. There's Dead Fox going wide, and that will be enough. HellRaisers managed to stabilise. 3 AKs taken into the next round. I'm sure they would love an AWP, but 3 AKs is not too shabby at all.
The crazy thing is that Smiths had such a good timing. You can see, Smiths getting taken down by Issa here, and you feel like if G2 had just really committed hard for that play and just all in with it, that they would have won that round. But you can never know, and they gave themselves another way out by having Shox lurking on the map, and you can see that it almost worked out. Shox picks up the orb, doesn't manage to find himself that fast timing on the kill onto long, so orb goes back into the hands of Kenny, and G2 settling back into a default with the Xbox smoke, can cover an approach towards short, and then they can go on the information hunting mission, find out where the CTs are standing, and then decide whether they'll go for the A or the B hits. Molotov to deal with any positions players positioned close to the double doors, and there will be none. So this is all information. So far this is all suggesting that it is a 2-3 setup, which does encourage a B play, but we'll see if there's an adjustment from HellRaisers. Surely
this round wins the match, because nobody got no money left. Nobody's got no cash. Woxic has 1 flash, which is interesting based on his position. 3 AKs. So again, if Bondic has issues later on, the flash can be offered, but it looks like we're going to have the numbers game towards that B bomb site. They see nobody holding the alternative angle in mid, so the information is just not there. HellRaisers are playing a reactive situation here. Dead Fox sees a lot, but what can he really do in this situation? He's in trouble. Some flashes towards mid, they don't know what's going on. The existence is there, but in the meantime, they can only do so much on the B bomb site existence. That's a huge frag from him, a big gamble from Woxic, and they can't afford to lose this, HellRaisers.
Yeah, this is a really well executed B split for multiple reasons, and as you say, this is a horribly difficult decision for HellRaisers on Bondic and Angel's part, because do they go for this? There's no money in the hole. You're in a 2v3, you have 1 flashbang. It's a really difficult call here. Angel gets team flashed as well as he peeks into the bomb site. Things are not looking in any sense easy here for HellRaisers. They'll have to back away and save. And again, G2, they did something here that they crossed their T's and dotted their I's perfectly on the T side. But they worked into a default, they got information, or like they had the best guess they could possibly have as to what the CT setup was. They realized that it was a 2-3, and then they go for the B split. And that is just the ABC 1-2-3s of playing Dust 2 T side. But you see a lot of teams that won't get the information and they'll just gamble it and just hope that the setup is weak against what they're playing for. And G2, they made it as sure as they could. It still looks scary. When I see Dead Fox and Easter standing on the bomb site, I'm afraid that everyone's just going to explode on G2's side.
Well, HellRaisers have managed to get something out of this. Woxic on the scout. This may be very interesting indeed, but we have Kenny creeping at the back. There is something you can stand on in T-Spawn as well to elevate your position. I want to say I saw Device using it, but I could be mistaken about that. But it's definitely one of the snipers did in the previous week. Bondic alone in the long area, and Woxic is a while away from him. He's a distance away, rather. That makes more sense. Shock's having a look. It's great to see Shock's lurking on this map as well. The freedom he has been afforded, just concentrate on doing his thing, trying to find openings and information to abuse. And he's threatening something. Bondic doesn't have a smoke grenade to deal with Shock's lurking, but there'll be no rotation just yet from HellRaisers.
Yeah, another default here really from G2. They go into that short control. Between 1 minute mark and the 1:15 mark is the typical timing that a team on a default on the T side will be arriving at short. And in all this time, you know, it's a very routine development of map control for the Ts, where you get information, you try to push CTs from forward positions if they have them, so they don't understand what you're doing. And so here they'll go and just throw those nades in onto CT. We can see that they're not necessarily committing straight away with them though. So, you know, they can look for a reaction here from HellRaisers. Another B split, but they're altering the timings. Angel again in this side of the smoke. So dangerous.
Oh, are they really going to take this to overtime with such a bad buy? Did he run with Dead Fox? That's a two-man spray down for him. That should be the round, and overtime secured, but Shox is in a 1 versus 2. Never count him out for sure. He is absolutely the person you want in this situation. Spots one of the two players, has to get the bomb down, going for double stack. In the meantime, these CTs are charging, and he could get a 1 versus 1. He knows where both players are now. Shox, can you seriously do this? Woxic by the doors. Bondic coming through. He continues to move. Shox needs 1 versus 1. Big headshot from him. And now Bondic, he's moving around double stack. He's got the AK. Shox, they both got AKs, but Shox has only 12 HP. Can he really do this? He was so close. Just the 1 bullet needed for Bondic, and that will allow him to take it to overtime. You see it in your mind's eye. Always with Shox. You're like, he's gonna clutch it. You know he's a Shox.
Oh my god.
But not this time. He will have more opportunities.
Oh, you just see him doing that. You just see it every time, don't you?
Shox,
you're completely right.
And Issa both on 34 frags.
That's crazy.
After 30 rounds.
They're so good. It wouldn't be any more fitting than to have an overtime, the first game of the day. I think it was 23 overtimes last week in 4 days of play or whatever it was. That's.
I know Alex is really keen for more overtimes.
Yeah, I mean this. Yeah, just give it to me.
I really wanted some overtimes.
Some major, Jace. Give me the overtime.
To be honest, I want more of this. This for both these teams. I want more of this. I want more Issa. I want more Shox. I want more frags.
This is incredible stuff. Oh man, that was so awesome. Just seeing Shox. He got. Let's not forget he got tagged as he was going to go for the plant by the AWP as well, down to half HP, and he's still like shoulder peeking and getting tagged more, and still picking his fight. I don't know how you do that.
Kenny going for a pick long. Oh my god, that was so tight through the keyhole. But Woxic has an AWP as well. Anything you can do, I can do as well. Leave it to you guys at home to decide who does it better. Body leaving the bomb at the bottom of the B halls. Ooh. You do wonder. A meeting of the minds. The T's taking control of the short position now, and Shox is still lurking long. Bondic is the only person towards the A site at the moment, so we see the change from the HellRaiser side now with a bigger focus on mid. It has been a hole in the defense for them. Woxic with a rare miss, and he's down to 42 HP.
Yeah, he actually got tagged through the door. The reaction shot from Kenny. That is scary stuff. Issa, speaking of scary stuff, a few bullets flying over his head. And now Bondic looking to defend pit. Will there be some flashbangs here? Bondic, of course, looking towards the doors. Would be quite susceptible to a flashbang, but it's the raw peek that comes in. He doesn't get any damage though. But he's got the information for his team. Will there be some flashbangs thrown from his teammates? He does have a man on the site. It's actually Woxic. No grenades on him though.
He just threw 2 flashbangs.
Oh right, I missed that. Bondik is in a lot of trouble. He's being pushed further and further back, and Woxic can't really pick anybody off to save him.
Woxic has to have a big performance here. He knows it's going to be a split of the side. The Molotov's coming in to make things worse. You can't get the flick though. Body will take him down, and now Isa has to do a lot once again. They're going wide. Oh no, it's not a transfer to Dead Fox. I thought that was absolutely crazy. Dead Fox, did he see the shadow there of the player? I don't know. That could have been a free frag for him. If you are... Oh my god. Okay then. Okay, I didn't even see the clock.
I didn't even see that either. I just thought they had it.
If you're standing on the ledge on short, your shadow does project to CT spawn, so you have to be careful about that. Cool, blimey son. This one is going down to the wide. That's just the first round of overtime. And it will be HellRaisers to win it. G2 don't get the plant bonus. The second AWP will be out this time. Isa and Woxic. Isa with the AWP as well. Having a look through the mid doors. They're getting cheeky now, but the angle is still being held. But Kenny won't go for another peek.
So fast. Bondik finds himself a 1v1. That's really good work off of the utility that Angel was providing behind him. And using the smoke to isolate that T. Now they can run away. But they're down a man still. Smith's pressuring middle. We saw Shox doing this before, pulling rotation. And look at this, Smith's teammates. They're all just pushing up A long, just having a merry old stroll towards the A bomb site. Smith will die, yes, but, well, there's a free access to that A bomb site. Small gap there, of course, but not too much that Angel can do about it. They are so sorely out of position. The quick boost could opt to help them, and indeed it will. That's the bomb down on the site. A chance here now for HellRaisers.
G2 already rotating to the long position, expecting that the bomb plant was free, but apparently not. A fantastic boost, and that will slow them down. No more grenades to cross either, but Kenyes will see that no one's picking in CT spawn. What do G2 make of this? Kenny running back towards that long position now, but Bondik and Angel are coming in from short. Bondik has a smoke grenade. If they can take up Shox on the site itself, then they can go for the smoke diffuse. Not guaranteed by any means, however. And G2 have realized that it's probably going to be a short play. That's going to be the focus. A 1 versus 1 becomes a 3 versus 1, and now it's Kenny S versus 3. They have the flashbang. Doesn't hit the target though. Kenyes doesn't have time to go for a second peek on the second player, and that's 2 from 2 for HellRaisers.
The crazy thing is that if Kenny hits that second shot, even if he dies on the next engagement, he probably saves enough time to win the round still.
4k from Bondik in that round as well. He gets the boost from number 6. Well done for him. This is a really good boost. Hope we see more of this in future. Always awesome when it comes out. And it most certainly helps HellRaisers. Took G2 completely off guard. Let's see if they have any, they have no issues with the weaponry on their team. Good grenades as well for G2, and that bomb plant certainly helps.
And another fast pick attempt coming in here from, or even a fast take from G2 onto long, and blind as Kenny wraps off the shot anyway. Oh, he gets a leg as they jump back across, and Shox is good for the headshot. This is an explosive round here on long. Both teams going all in this position, committing everything. Smiths in the meantime again playing shenanigans towards middle, trying to cut off rotation. He'll do just that, although there is a creep from Dead Fox in the upper dark. He'll meet Smiths, and oh my god, Smiths, how did he get that one? My god, G2, they needed a round, and that's the way you can do it.
Much needed round from G2. Mid doors have been so interesting. Also, we didn't really do a Go TV pick, but when Kenny is on a T side on multiple maps, the way you've seen him have those long picks where he peeks in the tightest angle, he's really good at knowing how to line up those angles before he takes his shot, before he peeks. The same if you see him peeking jungle from Palace on Mirage as well, he has a very similar thing where as soon as he peeks, he's on point, so if someone's there, they're probably going to die. 1 round lead for HellRaisers moving into the second half. Shox on 35 frags, and Isa level once again. 35 frags for him as well.
Oh, let's see. Existence losing some chunks out of his body, and that's a good way to start off a round. That shot is deceptively difficult, I have to say. The cross shot. It's very rare you see players get it consistently. open here from HellRaisers. Really slow default so far. Slowly but surely finding their way to shorts. Perhaps paranoid of G2 and their aggression.
Yeah, let's not forget G2's CT side in normal time. France won the World Cup and Smith wanted to play football in T-Spawn. So HellRaisers will make sure none of that nonsense is happening.
Good catch by Sleggy there. The timing of Shox' grenade. Slightly too early.
45 seconds on the clock. Dead Fox is still just waiting outside the B bomb site. Shox moves in that direction. So 3B and 2A, the reliable hands of Kenny S holding down that short position. Haven't really seen much for them to suggest it's an A play just yet, perhaps. We've got a smoke on short now. Kenny S moving forward, perhaps playing anti-flash. Now we've got Angel jumping into CT spawn, so it will be a split of the B bomb site, I think it's fair to say. 20 seconds on the clock. But Dead Fox is the only lurker in B, and they're not expecting 3 players here, surely. As the first one taken out, can G2 hold?
Yeah, big frag from Miso once again, but Shox is somehow doing the damage. Almost gets himself another one, leaving Dead Fox quite weak. And it's very difficult here for Body and Kenny S, but Body's going to open things up. I don't know if they can know how weak the remaining players are, but there's a fantastic argument to go for this. They have a single flashbang from Kenny. He's going to swap out for the M4 as well. Very smart decision. And just in tandem, they'll get both kills. Very, very nice retake coming in from G2, and that will be the defuse.
Those bursts from Shox were absolutely disgusting. They were so fast. That was amazing play. Amazing. And don't forget the changes that the developers made to reward burst fire, because that wasn't always possible to do something like that. So that was really nasty from Shox. So just seeing glimpses, glimmers, teases of the level Shox is able to demonstrate when he is just doing his thing. This is fantastic stuff. 17 apiece. 37 frags for Shox, 37 frags for Ita. No one's giving it up just yet.
Yes, incredible performances from them so far. Bonic straight out the doors, running backwards.
That's the play they were talking about on the desk, just running backwards out of long, I think Threat mentioned.
Doesn't get himself into the pit though, and G2, they are going to reconfigure themselves towards that short area. And G2 showed in regulation really strong defenses of the A bomb site, even though they maybe were in 5v5s and they'd given up long completely. And that was impressive. Not a lot of teams are able to do that so well as they were doing in regulation. And HellRaisers, they've got so much time now. They can expect that G2 will be occupying short at this timing, because they've taken long, they still have long, and they've got a player in pit. So if G2 aren't playing short, where are they? That's got to be a question for HellRaisers. Only Kenny here.
Can he get 2 shots out of this? If he doesn't play anti-flash, can he get 2 shots? There's the first flash. Okay, there's the first shot. He will get blinded secondary, and he won't get the second flash off. Grenade shot off after all. Okay, there we go. Body on the slope now to try and hold down the A bomb site. The Molotov is there. I don't think they've seen the bomb just yet, but Smith might have an engagement with the bomb. Roxic will take him out. That could have been crucial. That could have lost the round, and now the bomb's going towards B.
Yeah, what on earth do you do here? Did they just go for the chase? Woxic on the AWP. I'm not even sure how he found Shox. That was pretty ridiculous. Shox thought he was safe, but you can't play the shenanigans more than once. Woxic with the peek out of the window. And for G2 now, they've got to be very careful. That's a warning shot across the bow. And, I mean, surely you got to be afraid now. Woxic it could be anywhere with that AWP. How do you bust open this bomb site? Looks like they're going to be going for it regardless. Oh, some decent damage, but not the finish there from Body. Maybe if he could have gotten that frag somehow, there would be a chance. But obviously now at this point, Existence has to back away. I don't know if there's an AWP for him to find somewhere, but that would be nice.
If you have a HE grenade, you can run at the doors of B and bounce the HE off the back wall. So if anybody's standing where Woxic was, does pretty good damage to them. But the situation was less than ideal for G2. You can see how tight things are. Woxic's first shot from the window started strafing just before he took his shot against a very dangerous G2 side. can be concerning to give them opportunity, but he continues to deliver. I was seeing that on the radar while all the stuff was going on towards the A site, and if Smith somehow found a frag there, this round could be very different, but it's HellRaisers who have 18. It's the first to 19 to take it, so they've got match point now, HellRaisers.
And they're going to go for that B play. It was so successful in regulation. Smith's had a body block play before, it didn't work. He's got to make it better this time. That is way better here from Smith. Gets the 4! He gets all 4. That is incredible. Talk about an improvement. You can't ask for more than that from Smith. And that is going to deny HellRaisers the match. And it's going to be another overtime.
That was fantastic, and very different Smiths you see now than the sheepish one in the first situation. I thought maybe gets 2 kills out of this. He gets 4 kills out of it. Absolutely ridiculous. That's one way to shut down a round. I mean, core blimey.
Do you know what's awesome about that, James? So in the previous round, Woxic just nails Shox trying to play his smoke shenanigans on the A site. Shox's play previously with that smoke ruined a round for HellRaisers. And then of course, you know, and that was maybe like a guaranteed answer for G2. So then what was the guaranteed answer for HellRaisers was that B rush and taking down Smiths. And now Smith shows the immediate adjustment, just kills everyone. So I love that that tit for tat that we're seeing.
I can see Shox twisting the headset cables. That's not good. Making them all bendy when they're nice and straight.
Overtime too. Let's go. Let's go. Overtimes. This is the major of overtimes so far. This is amazing.
Were you expecting anything else?
Whoa, there we go.
Well, Smiths won't be having a great performance on this particular round because Woxic says no. Shox 37 frags. Isa 37 frags. Excuse my coughing. Asthma sucks. Kenya's existence starting to creep now. They have to get something back, but Woxic is waiting for them, and he's in an elevated position. Ooh, that's a very quick adjustment as well after looking through the doors. A fantastic start for HellRaisers.
Oh, you're going to get your wish, James. Existence picks up the orb. I'm not sure how much play he's going to get out of it in this round, but he, at this point, can afford to do whatever he wants. They need a big risk to pay off. But look at this, Woxic it seems like he just knows. He's on the angle already. Existence gets the tag, but he's going to be down himself to 14 HP. It's looking grim now for the French.
Not the start you wanted, but HellRaisers still need to win this round. They have a 2-man advantage. Yes, they have significant advantage, but they haven't won the round. Shox is alone towards the B bomb site, but it's Shox, and that is a problem in itself. Existence blinds. Existence eliminated, and now we've got a basically a 3+ versus 1 wherever they choose to go. 40 seconds remain. The bomb's starting to move into B apartments. Shox with an off angle. We saw his bursts from the car position inside B. I would be surprised if he got 2 frags here. Angel taken out. Does he hit Isa? He does, but Isa trades.
And you just wonder if Shox gets that kill, what could happen. But he picks one up as well. This is the first round of overtime 2, and there is an argument for Body in a 1v3 here to go back and find the orb that Existence dropped on short and just save it into the next round. It is costly for the CTs to buy, generally speaking, and especially in overtime. If you lose those first 2 rounds of CT, you don't really have the ability to buy up in the third, so not properly at least with an AWP. So the save here is going to go a long way. And
escape to victory.
Yeah, it's a shame that when we see Existence have the orb, you can clearly see he's really just grasping at straws. He's trying to do all sorts of desperate stuff to somehow get G2 back in the round. And you got to credit HellRaisers too, because HellRaisers covered all of their bases. There was nothing that could go wrong in that last round. They made sure of it. What on earth is that? Woxic is something else.
The woes of the CT side. Everybody is subject to them. In that sense, it's fair. Kenyes will continue with the AWP in this round, and Woxic will still have the terror of the mid doors. They're delaying their push. I feel so bad for anybody running through those doors past Woxic. Henry's a dab hand and a gap shot as well. So you better make sure your smokes are down. I actually landed a gap shot this week, so good for me. 3 plays on the A site for G2, and they start to get aggressive. If somebody does have a look from HellRaisers here, Kenny can fall into the slope if he wants to. almost 4 players on short for HellRaisers. Shox will hear some of this. He's playing anti-flash for the time being, having a look at the flashbang, but he can't get any kills.
And they're starting to sail in. Somehow that they doesn't do quite as much damage as it possibly could with 5 players standing there. Existence listening in. He's close to short, so he can hear if there's a rotation. That's part of his job, which is why he was closer to the wall just a moment ago. And G2 know the options right now of HellRaisers. They go for an immediate B split, or they go for a re-execution onto the A side. Obviously, those are the 2 options that they can play for. G2 need to know really which is which.
Body just saw 2 players moving backwards on short. So not Body, whoever jumped past the middle doors, and Body punished it. I wonder what the read was of the information from G2. Where are they going? What are they trying to do? Now Shox is getting aggressive. Yeah, that is Shox, Body, so the HUD just needs a quick reset. Anyway, we've got Existence on the B bomb site on his own. Hello, Dead Fox trying to bait, not expecting Existence to be that far forward. Now, I don't know if Existence heard the other 2 players there, but he's heard some footsteps now, surely starting to creep out. They need to swing wide as he's delaying. He's buying time for his teammates, and they're all rotating in, but they're not needed. Existence with 2 more frags, and that will be the round for his side.
Good stuff from Existence there. That was a lovely finish. G2, they're really coming to life now after having a poor go of it in the first round. Being very active. HellRaisers off the back of that default, they couldn't really feel like they could find a comfortable way, it seemed, to finish on that B split. And that again is the credit to G2. We're seeing just from...
Oh, goodbye!
Oh man, we're seeing from both of these teams a really high level, but they are so closely matched. In goes Issa, pushing forwards. Looks like G2 are ready for this dart forwards, though, on the long position, and they're going to shut it down. And that's going to even things up to 4 and 4, but the damage has been done here to HellRaisers. Those nades really connecting.
Big grenades, and with 1 player going past towards the pit as well for the CT side, it was hard for HellRaisers to continue to commit into that position. As Body, again with the aggressive plays, only good for the 1 frag, though. 2 would have been huge for the G2 team, but it was just the 1. The bomb spotted in T-spawn with a minute 15 on the clock. Can't read too much into that, G2. Now Shox will be towards a Existence mid and Kenny SB with an AWP. So they have fair cover, but wherever they choose to engage HellRaisers, they should have a numbers advantage. And that is an issue. Woxic has full grenades top mid, so he can throw a pop flash for Angel to peek double doors. Snow is holding the angle. Would love to see the flashbang, but no. It will be a free kill for Existence, but it will be a trade for Woxic. Both players now spotted in the mid position, and G2 start to close in on them.
Oh, Kenny will make it very difficult though, and I think Shox is close enough to hear all the running here from Bondik, so he's just slowly but surely creeping up from behind. Bondik unsure if there's anyone on the sides making all the noise in the world. So plenty of time here for the dynamic duo of Shox and Kenny S to shut this one down, but you never know. Bondik is very solid, and all it takes is 2 bullets, effectively. That's going to be a problem though. Oh my god, just grenaded into oblivion. That's one way to finish it off, and G2 going to 20 rounds.
I really don't think that HellRaisers had much to lose by throwing a flash through the double doors and having Angel at least have a look. Doesn't even need to go through the doors because of course it might not flash every position, but I mean that would have been some audio information which maybe they didn't want to give up, but I don't know. I think there was value in it because jumping onto the Xbox, I mean the timing was off for him, but I don't know. I mean, Woxic had 4 grenades, so I would have liked to have seen 1 used. And now G2 move around the head of their opponents. Woxic will have an AWP once more. Shox now on 40 kills, and Issa's on 38, so he's got some catching up to do. They've been neck and neck for pretty much the entire match.
Yeah, it's just been, these 2 teams has just been inseparable, which is awesome. It's really cool to see. I mean, again, they said it on the desk, despite obviously most people picking HellRaisers, and that was just because we had more info on HellRaisers, honestly. But otherwise, the sentiment is that this match could be one of the hardest to predict, one of the closest matches today, and I think it's absolutely delivering that into the overtime too, so can't get too much closer than that. Kenny S now looking for those gap shots. Woxic was he was pretty consistently picking people off, and that's scary. Kenny S unable to replicate Woxic's performance in that regard. And G2 again starting off with a default in this round.
Dead Fox took some damage from somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where. Woxic will be towards the car on A. Bondic long. All business as usual for HellRaisers. Angel in CT. It's been great. The demonstration of game sense we've seen from Angel in some of the games last week has been fantastic to watch. One of the old heads, if you will, in Counter-Strike at the moment. Issa and Dead Fox deep in the B bomb site. And we have Smith left in a boosted position, perhaps to catch people off guard if the CTs try to go for some aggression on short. 1 minute mark for G2, and they have not had any engagements by the CTs. They're just waiting for G2 to make their play, it seems.
Yeah, and for G2 they play some of these slower rounds, but we'll remember that it won the quarter by surprise that they lost with timeout. So hopefully they don't run into that problem again. Existence opens up onto Angel. That's the CT player gone. Issa, though, ever consistent. He is dangerous. Dead Fox comes out, but Issa's the one that keeps delivering. My God! 3 kills now from Issa as he continues to damage G2. And he's leaving an indelible mark on this round as it's just 1 player left after he gets 4 kills. Shox in the 1v2. You wouldn't want anybody else.
Such a long rotation. Bondic's the one with the flashbangs. There he goes. And now Woxic remains. AK for both players. He's convinced Woxic is coming from the doors. Having a quick look though towards... Oh! He's still alive. He's got half his health. He needs the headshot Shox. Woxic though will be good for it. What another fantastic display of skill from Issa. 4 kills from him in a ridiculous situation.
He's so good. It's crazy.
And there we are. Issa and Shox both on 42 kills. Unbelievable performances from both of them, but 4 kills on that B bomb site. Issa, such a tight angle on that first player. Always aware of a potential split. Goes wide peak for the second one. Back to tunnel for the third. Gets his reload in. And still good for the fourth. Giving himself as much cover as he can. And he holds HellRaisers. He keeps them in that. There was such a long rotation. Woxic was coming out of long doors. And now Kenny S with a shot onto Issa. That's one way to stop him.
Yeah, they're finally able to live up to Woxic's standard. Getting a lot of kills through the gap. Very impressive indeed. That was a perfect round to be split, but you just don't expect that one guy to 1v4 you. So I love this. You know, if you feel that situation where you lose a player early, you want to take a risk, trying to take some control of Dark. That's going to eliminate exactly what G2 are up to. They know it has to be an A play at this point. But can they stop it? It's still going to be very strong, this push into the bomb site from G2.
Dead Fox will be left in the lower tunnel position. Smith's top mid, and now Woxic's being picked off though, all the way. That's really far away. That's got to be frustrating, and that's surely the round for G2. 5 versus 1, and HellRaisers, they won't survive with any players in that round. How on earth did Woxic get taken out there? He was rotating down the slope from B. He was a really key player on that rotation. Beautiful. That's got to be really frustrating for the side. Body delivering from on A. And the look from Smiths. Vintage stuff. Leaving the T top mid to cut off the players jumping onto the Xbox. That puts G2 1 round ahead. Can they get to round number 22? Now the spam is here and Dead Fox will get taken out. At least one player will make it towards the B bomb site. Such is the nature of the T rounds, and it's G2 at match point now.
I can't believe it. The auto sniper gets the kill. That's crazy. You just don't ever see it. The auto sniper come out. That's some dust to you.
No one deserves to lose this match.
Shenanigans for you. Yeah, it's crazy. It's how close this game has been. I can't believe it. Issa's been such an incredible anchor on that B bomb site. It's been so fun to watch him playing those positions. G2 with all the advantages here. A 5v4, over a minute to play the 5v4 with. It's HellRaisers who are in desperation. They have a setup on the short position. They could live and die by this. This setup won them around before. Can it do it again now as Woxic gets flashed this time? He picks up 1, but it's just 1. He has to fall back and away from the position, and they know that he's lurking around there with the AWP.
Angel delivering a kill in mid, looking for more, but Kenny will punish him for doing so. And now where do G2 choose to go? Avoiding Woxic may be part of the plan. They have just under a minute on the clock here, and Kenyes and Smiths are rotating towards long, so it will be a split attempt of the A bomb site. There is a smoke on shorts at the moment, and Woxic's in CT spawn. Body on shorts itself, so it's going to be a 2 versus 3. Woxic and Isa though, would you ask for any other players? And a flashbang may concede Woxic's position, and his timing has to be perfect. Trying to use what might be a smoke for the tees, but the smoke didn't come fast enough, and he felt vulnerable. Going down the slope, going back up again, does he realise that the short player is on the site, moving into the smoke? Body saw him just in time, and now Isa is alone in the 1 versus 3.
He's done some disgusting things in this game, but this surely has to be the ultimate test for this match for Isa. Horribly difficult 1v3 retake. Picks up the AK. He's against an AWP and 2 AKs. The 1-taps have to be with him absolutely in this situation. The incendiary to oh my god, that is an amazing start, but it will come to a close very quickly, and G2 edge it out in overtime too. What an incredibly hard fought game by both teams. We saw a level, I think, for me personally, I didn't expect from both teams.
Yeah, we saw the surprise from G2 that we were looking for, but